all right. Good. Yeah. All right. Look like a space alien. All right, greetings, greetings, greetings. This is a test. You can go back to what you were doing now. Thank you. All right. Can I manage?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Unity Band. And I'm Greg Denning. I'll be filling in today as service lead. Reverend Sharon and Jeff English are both at Unity Village for convention and Posse Fest for the musical thing going on. So we wish them, happiness and safe travels back and that kind of thing. And today also we have a guest speaker who we'll introduce a little bit later, Reverend Jim White. But let's go ahead and get started on the service. First of all, I'd like to say welcome to everybody here and everybody joining us online. Now, if anything happens with our live stream, these are being recorded also and will be available to watch on YouTube at a later date. And if you're new to Unity, here's a URL. You can connect, you can check out our email, Reverend Sharon Ketchum at gmail.com if you'd like to reach out to the minister. Also, we are a prayer ministry. We have our own prayer team, and there's a prayer box that you can put a prayer request in. We will pray over it and then send it off to Silent Unity, where it'll be prayed over for another 30 days. We also have self-served coffee and snacks on that side of the room, and feel free to get up and get your coffee and get something to eat during the service. It's a very relaxed place, as I'm sure you all know. And also, if you need to check out, or if you'd like to check out other social events and things going on here, we do have a website. We also have a YouTube channel, and we have a Facebook site. So check those things out. And our mission statement is, let's say this together. We spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. And that comes from Unity's vision statement, which is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. And we say shared because we welcome all faiths, we welcome belief systems, and in that regard, let's join together in an ecumenical prayer, saying, "The enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us, the compassion of the Christ moves through us, the power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us, the presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God." And so we will start with a song from our own our own Lucille Olson, Our Thoughts, Our Prayers. Let's join together in this. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. And also, let's take a moment to pray for our neighbors, both nearby and around the world. Let's take a moment just to keep all beings, all living beings, in loving kindness, empowerment, and connection. Let's take about 20 seconds, a moment of silence here, to pray for our neighbors. Amen. And let's continue with a blessing for this center, Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing, which is all of us, and folks that are joining us virtually. We celebrate our spiritual connections, standing together in faith, releasing fear, standing in love, releasing bitterness, standing in possibilities, releasing limitations, standing in oneness, releasing otherness. We stand in pride of our diversity as the perfect expression of the infinite nature of Spirit. And so it is. Allah, Shalom, Amen, Namaste. And because we've kind of not done quite as much hugging due to COVID, we've been doing a Namaste moment where we discuss at the table a question, and Reverend Sharon was kind enough to provide a question for us today, which is, what is the most practical thing you do in your spiritual practices? So go ahead and spend a couple of minutes discussing that, and you will hear music, our opening song, when it's time to resume. Go ahead. Please join in our opening song, My Soul is Welcome Here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Let's break it down. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Let's do 4 more. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning. My name is Stacy. I'm your platform assistant for today. Unity's daily word is joy, inspired by the Gospel of John, saying, I have said these things to you so that joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. In John's Gospel, Jesus prays his disciples and all who receive their message will experience for themselves the joy that he knows. We share in this joy as we remember we are living expressions of the divine, created in God's image and likeness, just as Jesus was. Our ability to express life, love, wisdom, and all other qualities of God is limited only by our willingness to live from our spiritual nature. We are one with God and one in the allness of God with all people everywhere. The joy Jesus described remains with us no matter what is happening around us. We know that wholeness in the midst of illness, abundance amidst the appearance of lack, and even sadness in the aftermath of loss cannot overtake our joy. Let us affirm together, I am blessed with the indwelling joy. Joy is a core value we are focusing on this month. Affirming joyfulness as our true nature, we choose to approach life optimistically. Taking time to laugh and play, our internal joy of living creates loving connection with others in our community. We share smiles freely, move our feet to the music, and clap with enthusiasm, for we live in the abundant, playful flow of spirit. Let us affirm our core values together. With playful expression, we celebrate the life, love, and abundance. As Greg mentioned, today we have a guest speaker. We are excited to welcome our guest, Reverend Jim Hoyt. Earlier this year, Reverend Jim offered a class. It was a series on his book, Earth School, which is subtitled, Why We Think We're Here. He did bring some of those books with him, and they're for sale for $14 a piece. They're on the little table next to the credenza here if you want to pick up a copy after service and just put your money in the money box there. So $14 a piece. Reverend Jim has been leading classes and workshops in A Course in Miracles for over 2 decades, and he has a reputation for inspiring others. So let us welcome Jim up here and give a warm welcome to him. Thank you, Reverend Jim.
All right, well, good deal. I think you can hear me all right? Yes, sir. Well, great. It's great to be here with you, everyone. Peace and love to you. I, first of all, want to thank Reverend Sharon and indeed everyone that was involved in having me here today. And, I can't help but to give a special shout out to Dan and Carol Maynard. I first met these guys years ago doing work with my A Course in Miracles groups and that, and we have become best friends throughout the years, and thank you for being in my life, guys. Thank you so much. And probably most importantly, though, I'd like to thank everyone that's in our audience here today, whether you're joining us in person or viewing this on YouTube. I hope that you'll find my message today to be of value. So I'm going to see if I can get this clicker thing going. Thank you. And I thought maybe we'd get things started with some music, okay? So y'all in the mood yet? I hope you'll allow me that. I think it said in the introduction, I'm a saxophone player. So I took the liberty of that. To me, it's about as straightforward and spiritual as it can get. It's a 1959 classic by saxophonist John Coltrane. So, next, I'd like to tell you guys a bit more about me. To sum things up, I guess you could call me a spiritual hybrid. I've been a member of Unity of Livonia since 2006. But before that, I was primarily in the Black Baptist Church. And then in 2001, I discovered A Course in Miracles. And I was so thoroughly captivated by the course that in 2005, I decided to become a Course in Miracles teacher. And then this quickly led me to Unity of Livonia because they were kind enough to offer me a space to do my first A Course in Miracles workshops. But I guess more in line with my message today, I'd like to share with you something amazingly unexpected that seems to have happened to me, that seems to have emerged from those years in the Black Baptist Church, and then with A Course in Miracles, and then being a member of Unity. Something that's turned me into a kind of spiritual hybrid. And it's this spiritual hybrid experience that I want to talk with you about today. I haven't spoken at a Sunday service since before the pandemic. And so, being kind of rusty at doing these talks, I started out in typical fashion trying to think about a good subject for my talk. Thinking, right? A true sign of the ego. So, I mean, at a minimum, I thought my talk should be something uplifting, something inspiring, something helpful, and of course it should be something that would make me feel like I had done a good job. But after a few days of this thinking stuff, Spirit just finally stepped in and said in no uncertain terms, the subject you're looking for is already before you, Jim. It's what we've been talking about for a couple of years. Now it's time to get started, Spirit said. So, despite my trepidation here this morning, I would like to unveil to my most public audience thus far the results of my spiritual hybrid experience. It's my big idea, something that, as incredible as it seems even to me, could possibly save the world. Let me give you an idea of how I got to this point. I started Love Communications back in 2014. That's my nonprofit, Love Communications Ministries. And you see underneath it says, sharing the good news of A Course in Miracles. Well, let me show you the new one. I don't know, maybe the first improvement is it loses my face on it, but no. What I'm really trying to point out is, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was suddenly moved to change what it says. It doesn't say sharing the good news of A Course in Miracles. It says where A Course in Miracles meets practical spirituality. I don't know about you, but when you change the whole logo of your company rather impulsively, something just, what? But I went ahead and I did that. Where A Course in Miracles meets practical spirituality. So, I guess by now you're wondering, what is practical spirituality? And I put a little summary up there, a method for promoting spiritual principles by talking about them in plain English, but let me go a little more in depth with, still it's a summary of practical spirituality. Practical spirituality is a respectful translation of spiritual principles in a way that appeals primarily to people's common sense. Its goal is to get people worldwide to use spiritual principles as a lifestyle simply because using them makes their lives better and makes our world a happier place. Practical spirituality proposes that it can make the benefits of using spiritual principles acceptable to a much larger number of people by de-emphasizing the use of religious or spiritual language and references and replacing them with secular language and references instead. You like spirituality? Stay there. But there's also going to be a different version to get more people to step into it. In short, practical spirituality teaches spiritual principles in a way that both believers and non-believers might be willing to give a try. Now, what do I mean by spiritual principles? I'm sure you're going to ask that. Well, trying to get into a discussion or defining spiritual principles, even here amongst the faithful today, could get really complicated really fast, right? So, when it comes to a definition that we could use in support of practical spirituality, I suggest we start with the simplest definition possible. I call it the minimalist approach. I think we should respectfully and lovingly dummy down our traditional definitions of spiritual principles. Now, maybe the reasons are obvious. It's to avoid or at least minimize the differences and conflicts that are such a big part of religion and even spirituality today. And these differences and conflicts would, of course, be an impediment to achieving our goal, which is to get large numbers of people practicing spiritual principles because they make sense in their everyday life. So here's my minimalistic definition of spiritual principles that I think nearly all of us can get behind. Practical spirituality says, be nice, be loving, it works, and we can prove it. Good, because this thing wasn't going to go anywhere. Okay? I'm scared up here, okay? At any rate, listen, we're going to get to the keeping it real part of my talk, so I just want to warn you guys in advance to buckle up, okay? We're going to get with it now. I think most of us would agree that there are a lot of things in our daily lives that we simply take for granted because we just assume that they're true. But honestly, keeping it real, when you get right down to it, how many of the things that we take for granted as being true are in fact true? Or for that matter, is anything true? Is there really a Jesus? Come on, is there really a God? Is the world real? Am I real? When it comes to how much we really know, it gets pretty humbling, doesn't it? But I don't know about you, I guess I'd just say in summary, what the hell do any of us know for sure? Right? Well, maybe there's one thing that most of us believe we know for sure. It's that there's something intelligent, some entity, call it whatever you want, that seems to run things. From the activity of the cosmos to our weather, to the beating of our hearts and growing of our fingernails, there's something that's definitely in charge. The one that turns a piece of bread, you eat it in the morning for breakfast, and sometime late afternoon, it's part of you. What is it that can change bread into a human? Or if a dog eats it, turns bread into a dog? I don't know what you call it. I'm not sure it matters. It's just that even our common sense tells us it's more powerful than we are. I mean, it's humbling, but I'm trying to keep it real, I hope. All right. For better or worse, we're basically helpless in terms of trying to change how this thing works or does its business. How can we really change it? I mean, despite all levels of bravado that we use to avoid dealing with this fact, the truth is, I don't know what it is, but I may as well, here, let me ask. What are our options given these very apparent facts? There's something here bigger than we are. So I've come up with two options of how to deal with this. Number one, we can try to alter it, destroy it, or change it. Option one, what? Or the second option would be to totally go with it and just hope it turns out to be loving. Can you think of some others? My answer is B, totally go with it. I'd have to be a fool to try and change it. So that's where I'm coming from with keeping it real. I'm getting off on my slides. Now that we've looked at our keeping it real options as individuals, let's take a look at the big picture. Let's take a common sense view of the state of the world. Despite all the things we've tried so far, would you agree that there's still a whole lot of things in the world that don't work right? And given the incredible capabilities of our technologies nowadays and into the future, don't you think it's almost certain that the next big things that are going to happen are going to be really big? You know, like Fred Sanford used to say, this might be the big one, Elizabeth, right? Okay? I'm keeping it real here, right? So something big's getting ready to happen. Don't you think there are a lot of people worldwide that are feeling like something big is getting ready to happen? Some sort of inflection point, some sort of large-scale happening, possibly leading to a global solution or a global disaster. And is there anything we can do about it? Well, I believe there is, and I'm trying to do my part to share a plan that I believe just might work. As a deeply spiritual community, now I know that some of the things I'm offering here today, it's kind of like preaching to the choir with you guys, right? I mean, I suspect that most of us here and many viewing by YouTube are already feeling God's loving presence in their lives. I believe that a lot of us here are already experiencing the fact it's not just talk. We're already having experiences of being spiritual beings. We're already experiencing that our essence really is love. But it's not just our individual experiences that we have to fall back on. The historical evidence for the power of love goes back millennia. So we've got a lot of evidence to use in our proposals to the world. They all say it in a lot of different ways, but to me, all the religions and spiritualities, if I could just get to the rough fundamental edges of it, they all say the same thing. They say, be nice, be loving, it works. I think a theme like this is a great entree into the project. The problem is that we have to do it on a much larger scale. Does love really work? Well, most of us here probably think so. Indeed, millions around the world would probably say yes to love. But how can we show that love works on a large enough scale to really demonstrate its enormous merit? Think about it. There are roughly 8 billion people in the world. How can we even engage this many people, let alone bring them over to our side? How many religious and spiritual people are there in the world? How many are non-spiritual? How many in between? I don't know. But I'm willing to bet that most of them have common sense, whether they're using it currently or not. So I wish to appeal to a more universal common denominator. I believe that a minimalist common sense approach, I believe that the minimalist common sense approach of practical spirituality can do the job. That we can motivate a lot more people towards spirituality by appealing to their common sense and not just their propensity for religion or spirituality. Now, like I said before, I was as surprised as anyone when Spirit just jumped in and told me that I needed to get started. I've been thinking about this idea for a while, but still, I was surprised when Spirit told me to go public so soon and with such an esteemed audience as those that are here with me today. So, there's a lot more I could say, but time simply does not permit. So, I'd like to just close things up with a short music video that I believe offers a good summary of what I've been trying to say and shows that I'm not alone in embracing this idea. The song is called, as you might guess, Be Nice, by the Black Eyed Peas featuring Snoop Dogg. Check it out, folks. One more time.
You're such a loser.
Did I tell you you could talk
Why
to
you
me?
so
Don't want to be your friend.
trash fool?
With you?
No one wants to hang out with you.
You're such a loser.
Like literally the worst.
You should just go kill yourself.
Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. I just wanna be happy. I don't wanna feel nasty. I'm trying to turn my vibration around so I can feel fantastic. I'm talking to myself in the mirror. I'm telling me to cheer up. Everyone around got tears of a clown and it's so cold like Siberia. But I do not want negative energy. If you get what you give me positivity. Give it to me. Hey, be different. Be nice. Just smile. I promise it'll change your life. Hey, be different. Be nice. Just smile. I promise it'll change your life. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. The love you give is the love you get. So be nice and change your life. Be nice. Be nice. I got a new direction. I ain't got no time for stressing. I don't wanna carry no bad vibration. I don't wanna be in depression. I just wanna be cool, live my life without the problems. Everybody trying to push me down to the ground, but I ain't living life on the bottom. Cause I do not want negative energy. If you get what you give me positivity. Give it to me. Hey, be different. Be nice. Just smile. I promise it'll change your life. Hey, be different. Be nice. Just smile. I promise it'll change your life. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. The love you give is the love you get. So be nice and change your life. that we giving keeps rolling on, rolling on.
Be different, be nice, just smile, I promise it'll change your life. Hey, be different, be nice, just smile, I promise it'll change your life. Hey, be nice, hey, be nice.
All right. Thank you, guys. I hope you'll consider practical spirituality. Namaste. Thank you. Good deal. All right. Thank you.
Thank you
I
so
need
much,
to push
Reverend
that
Jim.
back down. Yes. Thank.
So our spiritual practice this week is to go out there and be loving and be nice.
It works.
It works. This is the time during our Sunday service to acknowledge and celebrate the sacred circle of generosity. We enter the circle by thanking everyone for their continual generosity of spirit, by supporting unity through many channels, electronically, by mail, and in person. Our circle of generosity includes acts of gratitude for these many gifts by sharing our gifts with others. For the second quarter of 2023, we are splitting a portion of our tithes with the Greater Lansing Food Bank and a House of Promise, which is a restoration house that helps women who are trafficked. Let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude, acknowledging our intimate connection with God by singing, "God is my source." God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. The circle of generosity is a sacred exchange of giving and receiving. We have each received blessings in many forms. We now complete the circle by sharing of our blessings. The gift we give is not a debt we owe. It is a seed we sow. We know and accept that our consistent generosity creates a consciousness of abundance that attracts good to us. If you are donating in person, you can place your love offering envelope in the glass jar in the center of the table for collection following the service. Let's place our hands over our hearts to symbolically send loving energy to bless our sacred exchange as we affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. Following service, you still have the opportunity to sign Unity's diversity, equity, and inclusion statement. That is on the easel over here on your way out. This week, Oliver Zhang's two-night course on the Diamond Sutra begins. It is on Tuesday and Wednesday in the Unity Zoom room.